I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. To approve our agenda for today, July the 2nd, 2024. Mr. Usleton, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the agenda.
We have a motion. We have a second? Second. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. It's time now to select new officers. We need a nomination for president. We're getting rid of this old guy and we're bringing somebody new in. So, do we have any nominations for president?
I'll nominate Josh Sullivan.
Okay, Mr. Sullivan's been nominated. Do we have a second?
Second.
Motion.
We need a motion. Okay, I thought that was a motion. We need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Here you go.
Thank you, sir. Now we need to have a nomination for secretary. Do I have any nominations?
I nominate Michelle Henley.
I have a nomination for Michelle Henley. Do I have a motion?
Make the motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. Congratulations. Moving on, we move on to our superintendent report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just want to keep the board updated. We're making a lot of progress getting ready for the upcoming school year. Our students return in less than a month. Today's July 2nd, and they return on August the 1st. And so we have a lot going on at our schools as far as maintenance and getting ready for the upcoming school year, getting the facility ready. And you'll get a facility update at our next board meeting on July the 16th. I've asked Mr. Peter White and Jonathan Hodges to both be present at that meeting. And we're just getting ready for that. And that concludes my superintendent's report. Brief today. Very brief. Moving on, our attorney's report. Mr. Keith, do you have anything?
Chairman, I'm going to make a brief as the superintendent. I have no.
Perfect. Sounds good. For those who could not hear, Mr. Keith said there is no attorney's report. Now moving to approval of our minutes for the June 24th, 2024 board meeting. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All in favor? Hard had a break. I get it. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Moving forward to our consent agenda, A through L. Mr. Superintendent, what is your recommendation? Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. New business. Bids for fresh cooked pizza delivery services. Mr. Chase.
Yes, sir. Reverse auction was conducted on June the 24th for fresh cooked pizza delivery service for the 24-25 school year. You can see the auction was conducted by different zones. It is my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid for each area listed on your sheet.
Do I have a motion? Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta have a recommendation. All right. Sorry. Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the bids for the fresh cooked pizza delivery services for the upcoming school year by each zone.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Request to pay vendor purchase rule, business and operations, Mr. Chase. Yes, sir. Tax, you will find a purchase order from Hypertech. The company won the bid for student devices. We have received the devices. However, the paperwork regarding invoices and reconciliation of those devices has not been able to be finished. They are closed, the finance department is close to finishing. However, the invoice would be 45 days unpaid before the board will hold its recess meeting. So we're requesting permission to go ahead and pay Hypertech for the student devices upon completion of the invoice reconciliation, which we expect to happen in the next couple of days. Mr. Superintendent, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the request to pay the vendor for the personal rule issued for business and operations.
Hearing his recommendation, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Certification of bank reconciliations, Mr. Chase? All bank statements have been reconciled with no exceptions.
That's good.
That is good. Mr. Superintendent, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the certification of bank reconciliations for May 2022.
Hearing this recommendation, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Request for proposal of web-based universal screener and personalized reading and math instructional programs, Mr. Chase. Yes, requests for proposals were opened on June the 10th for web-based universal screener and personalized reading and math instructional program for the district. The tabulation sheet for the written proposals is included in your board packet. Based on the tabulations that are in that packet, it is my recommendation to enter into a contract with Curriculum Associates. Mr. Superintendent, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the RFP for web-based universal screener and personalized reading and math instructional program for Curriculum Associates.
Hearing the recommendation, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. New board policy JQO, foster care program. Ms. Hassan.
Yes, sir. This is a required policy by the Mississippi Department of Education. It is being presented as a second read. There were no public comments. Therefore, we are asking you to adopt the policy as written.
Mr. Superintendent, what is your recommendation?
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the new board policy JQO, foster care program.
Hearing the recommendation, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Revised board policy GBQAA, reemployment after retirement, second reading. Ms. Hassan.
We are asking to revise this policy to include requirements that comply with House Bill 765 for our in-state retirees.
Mr. Usleton, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GBQAA for reemployment after retirement.
Hearing the recommendation, do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Revised board policy IEB, speech language screening. Ms. Hassan.
We're asking to revise this policy to include an additionally approved licensed evaluator for articulation services.
Your recommendation, Mr. Superintendent.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy IEB for speech language screening.
Hearing the recommendation, do I have a motion?
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Revised board policy IHAA, policy statement on grading for students with disabilities. Ms. Hudson.
Yes, sir, we're asking to revise this policy to update language within it and to clarify the options for graduating high school with a traditional diploma.
Mr. Russell, your recommendation.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy IHAA, policy statement on grading for students with disabilities.
Hearing the recommendation, do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that motion passes. Thank you, Ms. Hassel.
Thank you.
Personnel, Mr. Alexander.
Yes, sir. Personnel package, pages 1 through 4, recommendations. Pages 5 and 6 are personnel changes. Page 7 through 10 is a memo and job description for myself. A request to add one additional part-time position of skills industry instructor effective for the next school year. It will not exceed 19 and a half hours per week and be paid $42 per hour. Page 11 through 13 is a job description for Director of Risk Management, JDC Coordinator, some added duties. Page 14 through 16 is a job description for Federal Programs Financial Supervisor. Page 17 through 19 is a job description for Data Customer Support Clerk 2. Pages 20 through 22 is a job description for Child Nutrition Team Leaders. Basically, these were changed to non-exempt due to the new Federal Labor Standards Act salary threshold that changed. And page 23 and 25 is a job description for Child Nutrition Team Supervisors, and that's the same situation that moved to non-exempt. Page 26 is a memo and job description from Ms. Goss, our Director of SPED, request to add an additional therapeutic interventionist who will work on individual high school students in lieu of a PCA. Page 27 is a memo from Ms. Goss to add 75 additional hours for 4 special education teachers who are working to hold eligibility hours and IEP meetings this summer. This is also a request to compensate an employee for hours that she had to work over the initial 50 hours that were originally approved. Page 28 is a memo from Ms. Goss on the request to compensate employee speech language pathologists to work up to 34 hours for extended school year. She was originally approved for 18 hours. However, additional students were submitted for testing after that approval. Page 29 is a memo from Mr. White, our Director of Plant Maintenance, to compensate a summer worker who accidentally worked on May 28th for a summer worker meeting. She accidentally clocked in for 15 minutes, and that was by error. Page 30 is a memo from Mr. Tungett, our principal of Horn Lake High School, request to reclassify one of his full-time teaching units to be split into 2 part-time positions. Page 31 is a request for additional pay from Ms. Russell, our Director of Intervention, on librarians to work as a committee. This will begin 7/2 and end 7/26. They'll be paid at their hourly rate of pay. Pages 32 through 34 is a request for additional pay from Ms. Goss on med chairs to work additional 30 hours per school beginning 7/3 and ending on 6/30/25. They'll be paid at $30 per hour. Pages 35 and 36 is a request from Ms. Goss on sped teachers, revised hours changing due to IEPs and meetings beginning, this is unfortunately begin on 5/28 and ending on 7/26/24, being paid at their hourly rate of pay. Page 37, a request for pay from Ms. Goss on employee to work an additional 75 hours this summer, coordinating eligibility meetings and writing IEPs. And this will begin on 7/3 and end on 7/26 at their hourly rate of pay. And page 38 is the license recommendation for the 24-25 school year.
Thank you. Your recommendations.
Mr. Chairman, I recommend the board to approve personnel as presented.
Hearing the recommendation, do I have a motion?
Make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, personnel passes. Residency appeal, Mr. Culver.
Yes, sir. Have items to discuss in executive session.
Yes, sir. Now we'll move to public comment. As a board, we welcome public participation at our board meetings. While this is not a debate setting or a question and answer session, we reserve this time at regular board meetings for public comment and for citizens who have requested to appear. Board policy allows for 30 minutes for public comment. Public comment involving student matters or personnel matters must be heard one at a time in executive session. Each person who wishes to comment will have up to 5 minutes to speak until the 30-minute time limit is reached. When I ask for public comment, please state your name, and if you have a student or personnel matter, please state that information as well. Do we have anyone who wishes to comment? Yes, ma'am.
Are you with residency? Okay, we'll do that in, executive session. You're good. Do I have anybody else that wishes to comment? Okay. I need a motion for consideration of closed session to determine whether the board will enter into executive session for the following matters: residency appeal matters. Do I have a motion?
I make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, Mr. Chase will come back and inform you whether we stay in executive session. The recess meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, July 16th at 10 a.m.